Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. So today it's August 8th and I know it's been a very long time since I've uploaded, but it's now August, so that means football season is right around the corner. So that means that I'm going to be uploading pretty much weekly. So you guys will start seeing a lot of videos from Let Us Hear It, throughout these upcoming weeks and all throughout the NFL season. Um, so we're 30 days from the first game, which is Chiefs and Lions, and on today's video, I'm going to be talking about the value of running backs and my top five running backs going into the new season. So, um, there's a lot of discussions about like the value of running backs. It all started with Saquon kind of sitting out until he was given a new contract because he did not want to play on the franchise tag. So he did end up getting a new contract. You also have running backs like Josh Jacobs who are still sitting out because they don't want to play on the franchise tag. And then you also have drama in Indy with Jonathan Taylor. Um, and that's a whole different story. There's been reports that he said that he had back pain, but then he cleared up the air and said that he never said that, and that the sources need to get checked out. And then also today word came out that he's gonna be rehabbing his ankle that he hurt last season. He's gonna be rehabbing it away from the coach facility. So um, there's there's also been sources that said that the conversations between Jonathan Taylor and the Colts organization, like things are starting to get better inside the facility. So there's still hope that um, he will still be a Colt next season. He did request a trade, so it's very hard to tell um, what the Colts and Jonathan Taylor are going to do um, with only 30 days left until the NFL regular season. So obviously, I just talked about JT and the Colts, but like as an owner, would you be willing to pay your running back, knowing how much um, knowing how much value um these running backs are you know being being used, not being used, but like how much value, how much less their value has went down throughout these years. um in prior years we had running backs like Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell, and Ezekiel Elliott who were the offense. They were literally the offense, and that's why they got those high contracts. And you see guys like Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, who are still their offense. They're still their team's offense, and they want those type of contracts that Gurley and Le'Veon Bell had. But the way the NFL is now, it's a passing offense, it's a passing game. So it's the quarterbacks and receivers getting all the money, and the running backs who take the most damage, the most hits. Um, they're not getting as much money. So as an owner, are you willing to still equal out the pay between your quarterbacks, your receivers, your linemen, and your running back? Um, if I was an owner, what I would do is I would pay my running back what he deserves, but also I would add in incentives to not equal out to what Le'Veon and Ezekiel Elliott were getting, but just to so they could maybe reach 20 mil a year. We seen Saquon's new contract that he got. It was 1 year, and then also he has incentives. For each incentive that was on his contract, he gets an extra. I believe it was an extra $3,000 or so. So and that's just for 1 year. So I mean, not $3,000, was it 3 million? No, no, it was yeah, it was actually 300,000 dollars. So I feel like that was the route I would go. I would pay my running back, a base salary, and then just add in those incentives. Um, if you because if you do that, you're still paying those guys. But like, say that they only play 12 games, they more than likely won't reach those incentives. So I feel like that equals it out, because if you're giving a running back guaranteed money, which you really don't see anymore, um, if you're giving a running back guaranteed money, and they end up only playing five, 6 games that season, all that money is just going down the drain, and you could have filled that in a different area, like on O line, or maybe on the defensive line, or wherever. Um, so is there a world where the running back position is no longer used in the NFL? And my answer to that question is no. Um, Obviously, the running back position, you know, it's been in the NFL since the NFL started, and you know, it's basically like I don't understand how you can just turn away from a position, especially when you have high school kids, college kids, wanting to grow up and be these Jonathan Taylors, be these Saquon Barkleys. They have a dream to become one of the best running backs in the NFL. And even these guys today, they want to make their mark. They want to be talked about as one of the greatest running backs to ever play the game. So I don't really see, the NFL, completely eliminating the running back position. But I do feel like the NFL has to do something with um, the NFL salaries. I feel like these running backs definitely do need to get the money that they deserve. It kind of sucks that, like I said, they take the most hits, the most damage. They're the injury that they're the position that is most common to get hurt. Um, so it sucks that these guys are only getting 9 mil. 9 million is a lot to us, but when these guys are playing 17 games a season, going through a full summer of training camp, workouts, it sucks that they worked so hard throughout their life, and they get to the top and they're only able to get up to $10 million a year when you have your quarterback making $49 million a year. Um, so, like I said, I spoke on Jonathan Taylor. So another running back is Josh Jacobs, and he still hasn't reported to training camp, and there's been no word that he's going to. So, you know, are these is this situation with Las Vegas Raiders and Josh Jacobs going to get situated? And in my opinion, I don't think they are. I don't think Josh Jacobs will play another game for the Raiders. You know, if they decide to trade him, or if he decides to sit out, I just don't see him playing for the Raiders unless he's gets the contract that he wants. But I also don't see them paying him. In my opinion, I wouldn't really pay him because you know, uh, this season, this offseason, Josh Jacobs has received a lot of hype, and people are putting him in their top five. And honestly, to me, I really don't think Josh Jacobs is a top five running back. Yes, he had a great season last year. Um, he led the league in rushing, but he's been in the league for what, 4 years, and this is the first time doing this. Yes, it was a great season, but I'm not gonna pay him right away after that season that he had. I would like to see him have another successful season. Um, Maybe not the same way he did last season, but at least be top five in rushing again, and then we'll talk about contract. And it's kind of the same thing as with JT. JT led the league in rushing 2 seasons ago. He played last season. He ended up only playing 11 games, I believe it was, because of his ankle injury, and now he wants to get paid. you see like, okay, you had a great season 2 seasons ago. You got hurt. Um, you did what you could, but can we see another season from you? Can I see that you're consistent? Can I see that you're not just a 1 year wonder? Um, I would like to see consistency before I pay you. Um, his contract is 5 years. He's still on his rookie contract. He's going to his fourth season. Um, his, um, his rookie year he did have 1,000 yards, but I would just like to see consistency from these guys before I go out and make a contract extension for them. Um, so talking running backs, I'm gonna give you guys my top five running backs going into the new season. So at number five, I feel like 4 or 5, and my honorable mention being Saquon is very interchangeable. But I have JT being at number five, only because I honestly feel like he's better than the guy at number four that I have. But just because of this offseason drama, um, I have him at number five. And I also have him above Saquon just because, this is JT has played 3 seasons and he has played double digit games every single season. Saquon has dealt with ACL injuries, ankle injuries, so he hasn't been as reliable as JT has. But I would like to see, like I said, consistency. So um, not only um, in the games playing, but playing games. And Jonathan Taylor, um, uh, in my top five, he's second in yards per carry at 4.5. Actually, he has 5 yards per carry. Sorry about that. And then he has, like I said, 2 out of 3 1,000 yard seasons, 2 out of 3 double digit TDs seasons, and his catching upside is still there. He had 299 his rookie year. He had 360 his second year, and then 143 last season. Um, Yards. So I really like what JT brings to the table. Um, and like I said, he could be interchanged with Saquon, but just because Saquon has an injury history, I decided to put JT at number five. And now at number four, I have Derrick Henry, who um I feel like, I mean, last season when we talked about our top five running backs going to the new season, I said JT was better than Derrick Henry. But the reason why I have Derrick Henry at number four ahead of JT is because of the drama that is built around JT this offseason. So like I said, it's top five going into this season. So I wouldn't want my running back um, dealing with this offseason drama and putting him ahead of a guy like Derrick Henry, who's automatic 1,000 yard rusher when he plays a full season. Um, and honestly, he doesn't have to play a full season. I believe it was 2021 when he played only, I believe it was 10 or 11 games, and he was already at 1,000 yards rushing. Um, but Derrick Henry he's just a monster. He had a quiet 1,500 yards last season, and although he doesn't have that much catching upside, he could still catch a 3 yard flat, and he could turn that into a 15 yard catch just because he's gonna break a tackle or two. And he's reliable. Throughout his career, he's played 7 seasons, and in 6 of them he played 15 or more games. So Derrick Henry is very reliable. He doesn't have that injury history, and when you have a running back who's pretty much a automatic touchdown in 5 yards or less, um, and who could score a touchdown from the opposite 1 yard line, you know, I feel like Derrick Henry is although he is, I believe, 29 years old, he's still one of the great running backs in the NFL today. At number three, I have Christian McCaffrey, and I feel like, there's there's a lot of talk that he's still the number one running back, or at least the number two running back in the league. But I have him at number three just because he hasn't had a full season since 2019. He hasn't had 1,000 yards since 2019, but he's still very versatile. He has that great receiving upside, and he's a very physical runner for a small guy. Um, and when you're able to, especially with the offense that he's in, when you're able to put him in the slot, um, to run a slant route or even a post route, that's how versatile Christian McCaffrey is. And when you have that type of weapon, who's able to do things that a receiver can do, but also run the way that he does, it's like that guy is automatically top three. Um, and if he does stay healthy for this full season, I feel like he could definitely get back to that 1,000 yard mark for sure. And I feel like he could even be top three in rushing just because of how much the 49ers run the ball. And with Brock Purdy more than likely going to be the starter, I feel like they're really gonna lean on Christian McCaffrey. Although that is a kind of a scary thing because we've seen when he is used a lot and gets a lot of touches, you know, there that injury history is there, and that's what happened in Carolina the last two seasons that he was there. He was overused, I would say, because they had literally no weapons out in Carolina, and that's when the injuries began to pile up. At number two, I feel like this guy is very interchangeable as well with Christian McCaffrey. Um, I have Austin Eckler, and he is like the same running back as Christian McCaffrey, but um, I have him at number two just because he's more reliable than Christian McCaffrey is on the injury side. Um, he's played out of the 7 seasons, four of them have been full seasons. Um, and although he hasn't had 1,000 yard season, that he could get 1,000 yards if the offensive system was a run first system. But with him being with the Chargers, they're a pass first team. You got Justin Herbert who's probably gonna throw the ball 35, 40 times a game. Austin, a running back like Austin Eckler is not really gonna see that many touches when it comes to handoffs, but like Christian McCaffrey, he's able to do the same thing as a receiver can do. And when you have that type of weapon in the backfield, just another guy that the defense has to worry about, it just makes that offense much more scarier, and it just makes the offense much better as a whole. And my number one guy um, is Nick Chubb, and although he doesn't have the receiving upside like Austin Eckler and Christian McCaffrey, Nick Chubb is just a pure runner, and to me, I feel like he's the number one rusher when it just comes to running. Now it may be to you guys, it may be Derrick Henry, but I'm taking Nick Chubb. He's the most efficient with just with 5.2 yards a carry, and out of his 5 seasons, 3 of them have been full seasons, and he has 4 straight 1,000 yard seasons. With that fifth season being, I believe it was he had like 900 and maybe like 90 yards or so. So he just missed 1,000 yards, but he has 4 straight 1,000 yard seasons. And with Deshaun Watson being at quarterback this season, I really don't see him, not getting 1,000 yards. Although they may turn to more of a passing game, but I feel like they, when you have a running back like Nick Chubb, who's top three in the league, I feel like he's still gonna get those 15, 20 carries a game, and he's going to be efficient with those. Like I said, he averages 5.2 yards a carry. So if I'm getting 5 yards on first down, it just makes second and third down much easier. And like Derrick Henry, who is an automatic touchdown 5 yards in, Nick Chubb is an automatic touchdown 5 yards in. And, Nick Chubb is very humble. He doesn't really talk a lot. He just, goes out there, does his job, and, he just puts up those 100-yard games very quietly. You flip to the game, he'll be at 30 yards, and then next time you flip to it, he's already at 75 yards. So he just has that big play effect. And although, like I said, he doesn't have has that that catching upside, the things that he does as a rusher, like I said, 4 straight 1,000 yard seasons, and he's very reliable when it comes to playing games. Three out of 5 full seasons, um, and as long as he's healthy, the Browns are going to be a threat for sure because they definitely have a top three, if not top three, the best rushing attack in the NFL. You could argue that with the 49ers. Um, so that's gonna do it for today's video. I'm gonna have more videos dropping throughout this week. Like I said, football season is back, so I'm gonna be having a lot of predictions, a lot of top fives, top tens, and all that. So just let me know down in the comments what you guys think about the running back drama and how much they're valued and your top five running backs going into the new season. That's gonna do it. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Let us hear it out.